I know there's the pawn shop. I'll get to it later. There's stuff I gotta do first. Oh, hello.
There's a young girl in the yard. The girl is dressed in a long, plain orange robe with a thick headdress. From the appearance of her clothes, and from a skittish, fearful look about her, Alexander gets the strong impression that she is a servant, or even worse, a slave. The serving girl appears to be stealing a quiet moment tending the rose bushes.
Well, okay. I will want my eye thing out. Give me a second. Wait for it. Huh.
You lazy thing!
I missed it.
Get back to work and stay away from those roses! I've told you 1,000,000 times, those flowers are too sweet for the likes of you!
Ooh.
You've still got to do the breakfast dishes, make lunch, and clean the stables yet this morning!
The old woman's face, pinched with anger, could easily be mistaken for a prune. Her elaborate garments seemed to be an attempt to hide her nasty disposition.
Ouch.
And get your veil back on! No one wants to look at your face!
Wow, ouch.
Yes, stepmother.
Looking at the serving girl reminds Alexander of the years he spent as a slave under the evil wizard Mananan.
Ugh.
He wishes there was some way he could help her. She looks very shy and nervous as she tends her roses.
Alright, two things. Number one, I'm reasonably sure that in the Windows version, when she said yes, mother, you actually get the portrait of her face. Not so much in this version. But, number two, the thing about Alexander being a slave to Mananan, that's the plot of King's Quest III. Mananan had Alexander doing all sorts of chores and everything, and in the beginning of the game, you actually had to do them. The beginning of King's Quest III is probably the hardest part of any King's Quest game. It's freaking ridiculous. Off screen. Off screen. Yes! Hello?
Hey, stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
Sounds like a deal. Let me go ahead and save, because with the creepy music, I think you know exactly where this is going. See that glint in his eye? Yeah, not even slightly suspicious.
Considering the poor condition of the shore, it looks like the easiest way to get into the water is just to jump off the pier.
Let's do it! Whee!
The powerful currents grab Alexander. Struggle as he might, he feels himself being pulled out to sea.
Crap.
Not a very good swimmer, are you?
Oh, come on.
Help me! Sorry, I think not.
Wow!
As his head submerges for the third time, Alexander finds himself pondering the wisdom of going out on a limb for a stranger.
That sucks. Bad end.
Tickets out. Next.
Alexander couldn't handle those currents. That boy must be an unbelievably strong swimmer.
Yeah, sure. That must be it. Now to deal with this guy, I just have to wait him out. It doesn't take long.
Come on, jump in. A little water won't hurt you.
Or, you know, it'll kill me. There's that. It'll outright kill me. Get out of
What are
here.
you waiting for? I said I'd show you how to get to the next island, didn't I?
Dude, shut up. I'm here to talk to the ferryman, not to you. Okay? Oh.
That's strange. The young boy in the water just disappeared. Oh well, perhaps he just dove under the water.
You're not tricking anybody. Since when does diving take dust clouds? Well, let's get on that boat. Stop knocking.
Yeah, what do you want?
Alright, now I gotta talk to him. Hopefully I can click on him right. This was hard even back when I played this on the old computer. It's not easy to click him exactly.
Alexander...
See?
Excuse
Yes!
me. My name is Alexander. The owner of the bookshop in the village told me you might be able to help me. I hear you used to run this ferry for the islands. I'd like to talk to you if you have a moment.
You say old Allie sent you? I can't see why. The ferry's not running, you know.
I understand. I'd just like to talk to you about the islands if you don't mind.
Well, I guess it'd be all right if Allie sent you. Well, don't just stand there. Come on inside.
Sweet. Again, great perspective. Look at that, right through the porthole.
What is it you wanted to talk about, young man?
Well, let's do it.
I'm a visitor to these islands. I'd like to learn what I can about the area.
So you said outside. What is it you want to know?
Well, for one thing, why has the island's only ferry been dry docked?
Huh. It just ain't safe to sail these days. What with the islands feuding and all. Wazir Al-Hazred ordered the ferry closed till things settled down. Me, I don't think she'll ever see water again.
But why are the islands feuding?
You got me. Something about stolen property or some such thing. 'Tis a real shame. Things used to be so friendly.
'Tis a real shame.
Then this unrest is recent.
A few years is all, but it's been long enough.
Perhaps if the ferry were repaired.
This old thing? This ferry's been out of water so long she's no longer even seaworthy. Her
Oh.
boards have dry rot. She'd fall apart at the first taste of seawater.
But there must be some way to get off this island.
There's only one other way to travel that I know of. A magic map.
Ooh.
The owner of the pawn shop can tell you more about that than I can, Alexander.
Well, I'll get to that. And you'll notice also the music played for like a second and stopped. It did this the last time I tried this, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the faulty DOSBox thing. But there is this.
I see you have a rabbit's foot. Has it brought you much luck?
As you can see, my luck's been out for some time now, despite that old charm. Why don't you take it with you? Perhaps giving the darn thing away will bring me good fortune at last.
Perhaps it will at that. Thank you.
Yay, ding sound. Let's go.
Well, I think I'll be going now. Thanks for allowing me into your home.
Posh, not at all.
Posh.
It breaks the boredom, if you know what I mean.
Balderdash. Yeah, see, the music kicked in just as I was leaving. I don't know what that's all about. But that's the only error I found so far. Well, he did tell me about a magic map if I talk to the pawn shop owner. So maybe I could check that out. Yeah, there's nothing to see here, unfortunately. This is a shame about that slave girl. Off screen, yes! Okay, now believe it or not, I'm actually going to check the bookstore first. Because there's a character I have to meet.
Good day again. How may I help you?
Oh, silly music. Excuse me, kind sir.
Good day, sir. Is there anything you can tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
I'm sorry, but I have no time for idle conversation. I'm too worried about the princess.
He looks like Dom DeLuise almost. Also that voice. When is a raven like a writing desk? But, maybe if I identified myself?
Determined to learn more about the strange man's relationship with the princess, Alexander shows the man his insignia ring and formally introduces himself.
I'm sorry to insist, but my name is Alexander of Daventry, and...
I appreciate the offer of the ring, Alexander, but I'm afraid I'm already spoken.
Oh.
Daventry? Where have I heard of Daventry? Flying flit mice.
What?
You must be Prince Alexander.
Flying flit mice.
Casima told me about you when she arrived home. How came you here?
Why, by a ship, now wrecked upon the sand. But you know Casima?
Great Odin's
She
raven.
really spoke of me?
Yes, I saw her briefly when she first returned home. She mentioned a prince to me, Prince Alexander of Daventry. I'm afraid that was before she was told about her parents' deaths. You see, she arrived home a few weeks too late. The king and queen thought they'd never see her again. It is said they died of heartbreak. I'm afraid she's blamed herself.
What a terrible homecoming. If we had only known.
Terrible indeed, poor thing. Everyone in the kingdom seems to despair with her these days. The streets are silent.
Where is she now?
The princess is sequestered in mourning. It's a rather dated tradition, and not required, but the Wazir says she insisted out of respect.
The Wazir's clearly a liar.
See, you've yet to say who you are, and how you know the princess.
I? Oh, pardon me. My name is Charlo. I am clown to the royal court, and had been since the marriage of Casima's parents, King Calipham and Queen Alaria.
Makes sense.
Oh, those were the happy days. The pair of them were so full of joy and life, so in love. And Casima's birth. It would be hard to explain how long they had waited, how they had hoped for a child. I mean, she was such a charming little thing, smart as a whip, kind and sweet. Oh, she means everything to this kingdom, Alexander, and to me. I'm so terribly worried about her.
About her grief over her parents, you mean?
Well, the truth is, I do not trust the Wazir
Well,
or his plans for Casima.
Who does?
I'm still living at the Castle of the Crown as court clown, his clown. But it is more to keep my ear to the ground than out of loyalty.
Good move.
I wish I knew what the princess thinks these days. If only I could find Sing Sing, Casima's pet nightingale. I might be able to send the princess a message.
Nice.
As it is, I must wait for the end of her seclusion. Now I'm afraid I must hurry back to the castle. I'll try to return to the bookshop again later.
Thank you for speaking with me, Jalo. I hope we meet again soon.
Tons of information there. That was useful. Clearly there's something rotten in the state of the Castle of the Crown. Now I can go to that pawn shop just as soon as, well, Jalo leaves the screen. Give it a second. Yeah. Flying flint mice. What a twist. Let's check the pawn shop at last. Good day.
Good day.
Yes! And once again, the man in black there with his glinting eye. I'm getting a suspicious feeling about this guy. I don't know about you. Well, once I do this, let's go ahead and chat with the man at the counter.
Excuse me, merchant, but the ferryman mentioned that you might have a magic map of the land of the Green Isles.
Why, as a matter of fact, I do. I keep it under the counter. It's been gathering dust so long that I nearly forgot about it. It was quite a few years ago, you see. The estate of a wealthy wizard fell into my hands when he died. It was useless magical junk mostly, which reminds me, I've still got some things of his in the back that I need to dump out. Anyway, the magic map was the one true treasure in the lot. The wizard was quite old and feeble and had enchanted the map to aid in traveling. It is said that one need only desire to be on an island depicted on the map to find oneself there.
Sounds good.
It is a very valuable map, as you can imagine. Unfortunately, no one is interested in traveling these days. It is far too dangerous with the current state of the kingdom.
So the wizard was not lying about that.
What would you take for the map?
I would normally want something magic in return, but since I am hardly overrun with prospective buyers, I would be willing to take anything of equal value in exchange.
Okay. Well, it's gonna suck to do this, but I will give him my signet ring. Remember, this is a pawn shop. I can trade for it back.
Would you be willing to take my family ring in exchange for the magic map?
Daventry, are you a king then?
No, that's my father, King Graham. I'm just Alexander.
Well, Prince Alex, she is a beautiful ring. Are you sure you can part with such a unique family heirloom?
The ring does mean a lot to me. I didn't always have a family, you know. Still, it is only gold. There are more important things at stake now.
Well said.
Then you now own a magic map, Prince Alex. I will keep your ring out of sight for a few days. If you find anything else of great value in your travels, you can come back for your ring. I would hate to see it melted down for gold.
What a nice guy.
Ah, and a warning about the map. It will only operate when you are out in the open and within sight of the sea.
Good call.
The limitation has something to do with the teleport spell ingredients. You might try the beach.
Okay. Sounds
Thank
easy.
You are very kind, and I'll remember about the map.
Oh, he's moving.
Suddenly, the old man in the concealing cloak sneaks past Alexander, and with a sneaky dart of his hand, steals a mint from the candy jar.
A mint. Okay.
The old man stuffs the mint into his mouth and wobbles unsteadily out of the pawn shop.
Weird. Seconds later, in the castle.
Master! I followed Prince Alexander as you wished. From the pawn shop owner, he just abstained, just reprieved. He just got a magic map.
I love this guy. Oh, wacky.
You fool! You've been eating those mints again. I ordered you to stop that.
Mints make him drunk or something?
Yes, Master.
Now, what is this about a magic map?
With the map, Prince Alexander could travel anywhere as quickly as I can.
Oh.
I thought I took care of the only means of travel. By my scimitar, I can't have him stirring things up now. Get a hold of yourself and
Oh,
listen
man.
carefully, Shamir. Go to the other islands and tell them...
Tell them what? Tell them what? Oh, by my scimitar! Oh, that's freaking funny. I'm sorry. Oh, and this is only revealed later in the game, but this is no plot twist.
Alexander
Takes a mint. The genie's name is Shamir Shamazel, which is freaking awesome. Also, let's give this guy some actual currency. Oh, and as you can see, the Wazir is responsible for destroying transportation, and clearly he's conspiring against me, so I'll have to see about that. And obviously the genie had the glint in his eye. Clearly the old man and the young child are the genie, so I really have to watch out for the guys with the glinting in their eyes. Have a coin!
I have this copper coin. Is it of any value to you at all?
Most interesting. I have never seen a Daventry coin before, but it is copper genuine enough. I might even find a buyer who is interested in foreign currency. The items on the front counter are the only things in the store that I can let go for the price of 1 copper. You may make your choice from there.
Alexander
Okay,
looks
and then I look at the items. Basically what I have done here is I've given him my copper coin, there's no point in getting it back, and I can't. I have 4 items I can choose from. A mechanical nightingale, a flute, a paintbrush, and a tinderbox. What this is sort of allowing me to do is I can take any one of these items, and at any time I wish, I can trade it back for another one of these items. I have access to all 4 items, but only one at a time. So I'll have to keep which item I'm going to be using, and make sure I'm not wording this properly, but basically I'm going to have to choose which item I want very carefully.
That mechanical nightingale looks intriguing. I believe I'll take it.
Very well. Your coin is well spent. Remember, this is a pawn shop. I am always willing to take back my own goods in trade.
Indeed. So, yeah, like I said, depending on what part of the game I'm playing, I'm going to be needing another one of these items, of course. So it's just a matter of knowing which one to choose. Usually the game allows me to go back. Not always, we'll get to that later. But now that I've acquired the proper item I have, let's go ahead and head to the beach. Let's use that magic map. How can you say no to something like that? Off the screen, Alexander, I swear to God, yes. The music changed. Oh, hey! Well, there's a bird up there. That's why I have the nightingale, of course. I did something right.
Alexander winds the mechanical nightingale and places it on the ground.
This tune takes me back. Yes.
The mechanical nightingale sings a sweet, tinny tune. The real nightingale in the tree cocks her head and listens intently. The nightingale flies to a lower branch and looks at Alexander curiously, as if she were deciding that this human might not be so bad.
Intelligent bird. Now I have sort of befriended the nightingale, which you might have guessed is Sing Sing, Casima's nightingale. Now there's nothing I could do with the nightingale now. I would use it to send messages like Jalo said. I could send a love poem, but the thing is, it would get me points, but realistically, if Casima just got a poem from somewhere, she'd be like, who the hell is sending me this? I'm going to want to send her my signet ring. Oh! I'll check that in a second. But I would want to send her my signet ring in order to be able to identify myself first. And that'll get me more points. So I'm going to have to get my signet ring back later. Until then, I need to find something more valuable.
Alexander sorts through the odds and ends that the pawn shop owner dumped into the pot. Magic exploding gum wrappers, a shattered crystal ball, a cracked wand, a fake thumb. Near the bottom, Alexander finds a little glass bottle labeled ink. It appears to be empty, but Alexander decides to take it anyway. You never know when a small bottle will come in handy.
Sure. Let's take a look at this bottle of not ink.
Alexander shakes the bottle and imagines he hears a faint swishing sound, but decides he is mistaken.
That sounds delightfully suspicious.
There's no reason to use... Alexander decides to open the empty ink bottle.
It's stuck. It's... Whoa! The ink bottle isn't empty at all. It's full of invisible ink.
Whoa!
Not very strong, but not bad.
Buy my scimitar! I have invisible ink! Oh man, I gotta use that more often. Buy my I don't have a scimitar though, so it will sound weird. Even if I did have a freaking scimitar, it would sound weird. I can't escape the screen! DOSBox, why do you torment me so? Let me go. Yes. Well, now I can finally head to the beach and actually use that magic map. I know you've been wanting to see some of the other islands by now. I mean, come on. The Isle of the Sacred Mountain, the Isle of Beast, the Isle of Wonder. Intriguing. Now that I've finally done all that, get my magic map. Bingo!
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
That's pretty cool. So the Isle of the Crown is the second largest. Sacred Mountain is pretty huge. But then again, the Isle of the Crown's only, what, 7 screens? Beach, crossroads, castle, wall by castle, village, house, ferryman. Yeah, 7 screens. So who knows how small the Isle of the Sacred Mountain actually is. Let's check it out first.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Whoa! Flying flint mice! Well, items. Let's grab them.
Alexander picks the flower and is startled by its hideously strong skunk-like odor.
Strange.
For a moment he can smell nothing else.
Ugh. And a feather?
Alexander takes the feather.
Okay. And look at that. It looks like there's something on the wall over here.
There appears to be something etched into the face of the cliff. Alexander decides to get closer.
Ignorance kills, wisdom elevates. Wise words, but okay. And I have the hand icon still, and I can only look and touch. So, no! Jeez. Wow.
Nothing happens.
Can't say I'm surprised. I'll come back to this later. You know this is going to be a big point later in the game. In the meantime, there's nowhere else I can go. I'm stuck on a beach with cliffs, so let's get out of here.
Alexander.
Check the Isle of Wonder. I mean, come on, it's called the Isle of Wonder. Plus, I don't think I'm prepared to handle whatever beast this isle may have.
Alexander.
Feels a strange pulling sensation. By my scimitar! Whoa! Okay, well, there's a couple things to look at.
One of the oysters is sitting up in bed and doesn't look very happy. He seems to be the only one who can't sleep. In the oyster's mouth, Alexander can see a glint of white.
Must be a pearl in the mouth. Also, get it? A bed of oysters? I'm on the first screen of the Isle of Wonder, and that's what I see. Get used to lots of puns on this island in particular. And yeah, I have to wait for that sentence to come up here. Yes, spoiler alert, it's a sentence. It's a strip of words. If I reach it now, I'm gonna get caught in the undertow and die again by drowning. So in the meantime, give me a little bit longer. It's like waiting for the genie boy to disappear. Give me a second, I'll grab it. Okay.
Alexander picks up the object floating in the water. It appears to be a string of letters. They say, "Where are you going?" Alexander decides to keep the odd sentence, even though it is incomplete.
Yes, a grammarian. My kind of person. Thank you, King's Quest VI narrator, and possibly Alexander as well. Now that I've done that, let's see what's going on with this oyster.
Why aren't you asleep like the other oysters?
Oh, I'm so weary, but I can't sleep. I have a terrible ache in my mouth.
Well, just reading a book almost passed me out, knocked me into bed, so let's try reading into a tired thing.
If you're having trouble sleeping, perhaps you'd like me to read to you.
Hey, that would be great.
With that crappy book.
2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40.
We've heard this part.
Alexander
That was
sees
way too fast.
Yields a gilded minnow of precise measurements.
What?
2,069 centidrills by 3,023 and 6/7 puns. Not puns,
Ugh.
as might be expected.
So boring!
This is not to say, however, in any sense whatsoever, that deviations in mean temperature of 5 or 6 dregs or so.
What the hell are you saying?
Alexander makes a grab at the
God
pearl.
damn! I'm taking that pearl, though.
Hey, you fixed my mouth. It feels great.
The little oyster drifts into peaceful slumber with the rest of his oyster friends.
Only in King's Quest would you ever hear a sentence like that. The oyster drifts into sleep with the rest of his oyster friends. That's such a goofy thing to say. And I'm saving here for a reason. There are 2 places I can go, north and east. Let's go north, into the dark, black forest.
Alexander hears someone coming.
Ooh. Prepare for shenanigans, people. This is good stuff.
5 fierce guards of the isle we be. Watch for a foreign man, said he.
Said he.
Ears and nose, tongue, hands and eyes. Its nature cannot be disguised. If mad it be, then mad it dies.
I'm in trouble. You think Alhazra told them about me?
Old Tom Troll, smell your smell. Do that which you do so well.
I have to get past the gnome with a gigantic nose. I'm just gonna give him the wrong item on purpose. You'll see why. Ha!
Alexander holds the item out for the gnome with the stupendous nose.
My nose cannot be tricked that way. The smell of man still rules the day.
This will not end well.
A man so fair knows, into the waiting sea he goes.
Crap. Oh god. No! That sucks.
The The gnomes toss Alexander too far out into the sea for him to get his footing. The currents drag him under.
That sucks. Not even commentary, you just die. Oh. Oh. Yuck.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Guess those gnomes couldn't reach a consensus.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt to even hear that. Come on, you could do better than that. That's terrible. It's the kind of joke I'd make. Ugh. Oh, and by the way, I am trying to die in every way I can, just so you can see what it looks like. I promise you, drowning is not the only way to go. There's more elaborate ways of doing things. Now, first things first, I'm going to take care of these guards. And as you can see, each gnome has an exaggerated body part that references one of the 5 senses. And the game is fair in the sense that if I do not have an item I need, I could use the map to just teleport myself away instantly. I would just have to repeat the sequence again, though, and do everything over. So, let's go ahead and use the overpowering stench on the guy with the nose.
Alexander holds the flower of stench out to the gnome with the jumbo nose.
Tom Trow I am, that's all I'll be. My nose knows all on land and sea.
Ugh.
A flower of stench has washed ashore. A flower 'tis all, and nothing more.
Alright. So they think I'm a flower? Still, that's not the only thing I have to pass.
Listen, hark you, Grovelor, do your duty as you swore. With your ears, please tell us more.
Alright, let's do it. Now, you can't hear a flower, so I'm going to have to trick him. Now, I could have taken the nightingale or the flute. If I used the flute, though, he would say, well, man plays flute, and I would get killed anyway. So I gotta trick him into thinking I'm a bird, mechanical or otherwise.
Alexander winds the tin nightingale and plays it for the gnome with the monumental ears.
Monumental! Even back in the days before Windows XP, this winding scene would take a little too long. I don't know why. Yeah! Jam! Get down to those fat beats! Wow, is this a slow remix of the Nightingale?
A nose is not a way to spy. My ears cannot be told a lie. A nightingale is all there be. No man is near, and so say me.
These guys must not talk too much if everything they say has to rhyme.
Taste, Grump, that we might know whether friend or whether foe.
He looks like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. How am I gonna trick Taste? With a delicious, delicious mint! Tongue's terrifying.
Alexander holds the mint out for the gnome with the gigantic mouth.
Ugh.
Grump knows a tasty treat. It matters not what others bleat. No danger is this one so sweet.
He sounds like a droopy dog. What others bleat? Mind a step, sir.
Trilly dilly, use your hands. Is it beast or is it man?
I love how all 5 gnomes speak in unison, so one of them is always referring to himself in the 3rd person just to, like, complete the chant, I guess. Why would he have to tell himself to do... Never mind, just take the rabbit's foot already.
Alexander holds the rabbit foot out for the gnome with the huge hands.
What was that sound all about?
Be all you mad? What aileth thee? A bunny can't trill merrily. A hare does not at all taste sweet. A rabbit here is all we greet.
These guys really can't come to a consensus.
Oh, build better, never fatter. Vision can resolve this matter. Look you now and end this chatter.
Now, how am I going to avoid the guy who can see things? With invisible ink, of course.
Alexander pours the contents of the empty-looking ink bottle over himself.
Ooh, nice. Gotcha!
By all that's beauteous, fair, and sightly, 4 morons do I sleep with nightly. There's nothing there at all, I say. Enough of this. Let's now away.
Sweet! Goodbye, freaks. Also, you never see these guys again. Threat averted.
Alexander did it. He's fooled the guards.
Whew! That sure was a challenge. At this point, I think it's safe to say that we can stop the playthrough for now. So what do you think of this game? Awesome or what? Well, you may not think we made too much progress based on the fact that we only covered 6 screens of the Isle of the Crown, 1 screen of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, and 1 screen of the Isle of Wonder. But then again, consider that we basically explored all of the Isle of the Crown. We couldn't do anything with the Sacred Mountain, we didn't even touch the beast. But, well, we have access to the Isle of Wonder now, and if you think about it, plot-wise, we really did advance a lot. We befriended just about everyone we talked to. We've allowed ourselves access to more areas of the Isle of the Crown, at least in terms of trade and business. And we can now walk around the Isle of Wonder as we please, now that the guards are gone. Will we be seeing more of Wazir al-Hazred and Shamir Shamazel in the future? Oh, you know we will. Why do I even ask these things? But still, things are really going to heat up once we start to take a look at a foreign area other than the Isle of the Crown and its simple business areas. The Isle of Wonder is completely wacky, so we look forward to that in the next installment. Until next time, everyone.
Whoa!